Քերծվածքակայուն, ջրադիմացկուն եւ հարվածակայուն լամինատների նշված տեսականին ձեռք բերեք իդեալ համակարգի խանութ սրահներից 1 քառակուսի մետրը սկսած ընդամենը 2450 դրամից։
Great pleasure to be here. The pleasure is Mr. Minister, first of all, welcome. We're very happy to receive you here. Thank you for your visit, and thank you very much for this occasion, these consultations, and this exchange of views and discussions on our relations and also on regional issues, both here in our continent and also in your continent, in your part of the world. We are very happy with this occasion. We think it's the right time for that. We had during this first 2 years of the third mandate of President Lula good contacts, political consultations, the visit of the Vice Minister, and it's wonderful to have you here now to make a projection of our relations for the years ahead of us. So it's a great pleasure. Thank you so very much. And we have a very good agenda that we'll be able to discuss and see what we can do to have even a more intense and bigger relation between in terms of trade, investment, business, but also political positions, and also I would like to register and to thank Armenia for the big contribution to our society with a large number of Brazilians of Armenian descent, and as I was just telling the minister that we have at least 10 ambassadors, some retired, but Armenians, from Armenian families. No, almost 10. There are others that are retired and living in Rio and other parts, but I think it's around 10, to my knowledge. And of course, many others in different positions and different stages of the career. But this said, thank you very much, and thank you for the intense program that you have for your visit, and thank you also for taking your time to go to our diplomatic academy and to talk to our students. Thank you very much.
Mr. Minister, dear colleagues, the pleasure is indeed ours. My colleagues, the delegation and me, we are happy to be here. We are happy for this occasion. This is indeed a good opportunity to reflect and evaluate what has been done between Armenia and Brazil, where we stand in terms of our cooperation, but also to see what can be done in the future. And we are absolutely ready to deepen our relations with your beautiful and great country. We have huge interest in deepening the relations with Brazil, but also we have huge interest in South America and in Latin America in general. Also, we have our updates from our regional affairs, and taking into account the huge interest that Brazil has in global affairs, in peace building in the world, but also in achieving a better and more efficient global governance, if I may say. We also have our own considerations and updates from our region. So we are only happy to be here to discuss the issues, but also to see the country as well. You have such an impressive capital. I remember, and this was a good milestone, I would say, the visit of my deputy minister, the political consultations that we have had here last year, and by the way, the next round is supposed to take place in Yerevan, in Armenia, and we have some timeline in our minds. We will share, of course, I will suggest the time frame proposal for the next round. But I remember my deputy minister, when he was here, he was very much impressed with the architecture, with the atmosphere, but also with the warm hospitality. And now I see that he was right.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a thank you.
At this moment, Ministers Maurò Vieira and Ararat Mիրzոյանի will sign the Memorandum of Understanding between Instituto Rio Branco of the Brazilian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Diplomatic School of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Armenia.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've had the pleasure today of having a very fruitful meeting with the Minister Ararat Mիրzոյանի of Armenia. Brazil and Armenia has a relationship characterized by friendship and fluidity. There is space, therefore, to have more dynamic relations, and the visit of the Chancellor Mիրzոյանի is an important milestone along this line. In the meeting that we had, we reviewed different aspects of our bilateral relations, deepening the exchange of information and points of view occurred during the third meeting of political consultancy held in Brasilia in January last year between the General Secretary of External Relations and the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of Armenia. We recognize the importance of the community of Armenians in Brazil, one of the greatest Armenian communities abroad that has made a significant contribution to the economic development of the country. We've had the satisfaction of signing just now this MOU that renews the cooperation already established between the Rio Branco Institute and the Diplomatic School of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Armenia. We are confident that this instrument will contribute to make viable new concrete actions of cooperation between the institutions that form the diplomatic corps of our country. We've examined the situations of other bilateral instruments in negotiation in many sectors, such as work, sports. These are the new areas of cooperation that we are confident that can remain to be developed in the following years. In the trade area, we have realized the trade flow has given signs of growth in the last 2 years, having overcome the previous previous the pandemic, the COVID pandemic. We've seen that there's still space for growth, specifically for the diversification of the agenda. Agriculture, housing represent areas, potential areas for expansion. In our discussions about topics of the regional and global agenda, we see with great interest the perspective of the Armenian government about the peace negotiations in the Caucasus. And I talked to Minister Mիրzոյանի, Brazilian position according to our diplomatic efforts so that we can reach lasting peace in the region. I expressed our satisfaction of the process of border demarcation between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and the perspective that this process will continue with the same productive spirit. We also have reviewed the new challenges and rapid changes in the geopolitical scenario, and we can reaffirm the common values that unite Brazil and Armenia and especially our support to multilateralism, respect to international rights and human rights, and our commitment with the world and democracy. I discussed with Minister Mիրզոյանի the cooperation in the environmental area, reminding that our countries will hold two of the most important international meetings in these areas in the next 2 days. Brazil will receive in November of this year COP30 about climate change, and Armenia will hold in their capital in 2026 the COP17 about biodiversity. I manifested the expectation in Brazil that COP30 will represent a marked milestone in the strengthening of the climate action in this decade in all of the pillars of the Paris Agreement, housing, funding, training, and technology, among others. Still in the context of COP30, I showed the Brazilian expectation that the program, the work program for just transition, will have robust results and effective aiming the creation of tools and initiatives that will allow both countries, especially the countries in development, to move forward in their transition processes with low carbon economies, with sustainable growth, development, and socio-economic inclusion of the most vulnerable sectors of the population. I also highlighted the Brazilian conviction that the efforts to limit global warming at 1.5 degrees should remain as a priority. And I pointed out on the slides that it's essential that the main countries, the emitters, will strengthen their gas emissions and will anticipate climate neutrality goals of 2050 to 2040. About biodiversity, I ensured our support to the presidency for the COP17 from Armenia of the Convention on Biodiversity. I offer all the cooperation during the intersection where we can develop a positive agenda for the COP in 2026. I could highlight Brazil's satisfaction with the adhesion of Armenia as a founding member of the Global Alliance Against Poverty and Hunger. As you know, these were one of the most expressive legacy of the Brazilian presidency of the G20 last year, and we hope this will make a difference in the lives of millions of people around the globe. Brazil sees great synergies among the Armenian policies of social protection, income transfers, and food safety, among others. With Brazilian programs such as Bolsa Família, I manifested to the Chancellor Mիրзոյանի the Brazilian disposition to keep exchanging information, identifying opportunities of cooperation in these fields. I reaffirmed our connection with Brazil and Armenia should keep narrowing the friendship ties.
O ministro dos Negócios Estrangeiros da República da Armênia, Ararат Mիրzոյանի.
Dear Minister Vieira, first of all, I extend my sincere gratitude for the invitation and the warm hospitality extended to my delegation during this visit. Brazil's and your personal interest in fostering closer ties with Armenia is deeply appreciated, and we are eager to build upon the strong foundation of our long-standing friendship. Dear colleagues, Brazil was among the first Latin American nations to recognize Armenia's independence in 1991, and in 2006 became the first South American country to establish a resident embassy in Yerevan. Armenia and Brazil share fundamental democratic values and principles which serve as the foundation of our political dialogue and cooperation. Over the past 3 decades, our diplomatic relations have evolved into a meaningful and multifaceted cooperation. This visit presents an opportunity to chart a more ambitious course for the future, including for the cooperation beyond traditional areas of mutual interest. While we look into possibilities of extending the legal framework and continue working on different draft agreements, today I am pleased to sign the Memorandum of Understanding between the Diplomatic School of Armenia and the Rio Branco Institute of Brazil. We are keen to further enhance our bilateral cooperation on education, innovation, high-tech, IT, and digital banking. These are areas where we are both ready to share and learn from Brazil's experience. Despite the geopolitical distance, there is significant potential to expand our trade relations. Last year saw some increase in bilateral trade turnover, but certainly there is huge potential for much more. To boost stronger economic relations, with Minister Vieira, we emphasized the commitment to foster direct business-to-business connections. In this regard, I should commend the presence of the strong Brazilian delegation at the special edition of the Americas Competitiveness Exchange of the Organization of the American States, held in October 2024 in Yerevan. Today, with Minister Vieira, we noted with satisfaction the cooperation between our countries in international fora, including the United Nations and its specialized agencies, as well as the Organization of American States. We look forward to working closely with Brazil on crucial global challenges such as climate change and biodiversity conservation. I confirmed to Minister Vieira that our delegation will join COP30 in Belém in November this year, and we look forward to welcoming Brazilian representatives to COP17 in Yerevan in 2026. We both look forward to close cooperation in this context. Moreover, we supported and became founding member of the Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty initiated by Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, today we exchanged views on international developments and tendencies. I briefed Minister Vieira on Armenia's expanding partnerships, be it the strategic partnership with the United States or deepening the cooperation with the European Union. Of course, we spoke also about regional issues. While we witness uncertainties and security challenges across many regions, Armenia has faced many security challenges firsthand, and the South Caucasus has seen many confrontations. Yet, my country remains steadfast in its commitment to achieving lasting peace in South Caucasus. I'm sure you heard about the most recent development regarding the normalization of relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan. By agreeing to the most recent edition of the draft peace treaty, Armenia paved the way for finalization of the draft text and the negotiations on the draft. We appreciate Brazil's immediate reaction to this development. So the treaty is ready to sign, and Armenia is ready to sign the treaty, which can become a key pillar in building lasting peace in the region. Other pillars are the border delimitation and unblocking of regional communication. Last year, we made significant progress in border delimitation based on the 1991 Alma-Ata Declaration, having successfully delimited and demarcated over 12 kilometers of our borderline. On unblocking regional communications, we have made very concrete proposal to our neighbor Azerbaijan, which, if implemented, could allow the functioning of the railway, then perhaps lead to broader opportunities of enhanced connectivity. Of course, as you can imagine, the topic of connectivity goes beyond the borders of our two countries, and with the vision of both contributing and becoming part of larger logistical routes, Armenia has initiated the Crossroads of Peace initiative, a project aimed at achieving an inclusive regional connectivity framework of roads, railways, pipelines, and energy networks. For more predictability and creation of mutual trust, Armenia also put forward constructive initiatives of mutual arms control and verification measures. Regrettably, the mentioned proposals have not been constructively reciprocated by Azerbaijan. We still lack the positive response to the proposals on communication and arms control mechanisms. While we have announced the finalization of the draft peace treaty, the past several days saw intensification of the false accusations of ceasefire violations, categorically refuted by the Armenian side. To reach the desired goal of peace, Armenia's strong political will should be reciprocated. If peace is to be achieved, both sides must commit to fostering an environment of trust and dialogue. In this regard, addressing the unresolved humanitarian issues, such as the release of Armenian detainees, would significantly ease the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, Armenia pursues a balanced and forward-looking foreign policy, one of that seeks to maintain stability, expand economic opportunities, and reinforce our commitment to democratic values. Our partnership with Brazil exemplifies the potential of international cooperation rooted in mutual respect and shared interests. As we move forward, we remain dedicated to deepening our bilateral ties with Brazil and other global partners, fostering peace in our region and contributing to a more just and equitable international order. I once again express my sincere gratitude to Minister Vieira and the Brazilian government for their support and engagement. We look forward to many more years of fruitful collaboration and friendship. Thank you.
Thank you.